This is the first stage of the project, the clearing of the vegetation off the road and the cutting of the drains and forming up to get our correct profile. You see, it's in a difficult bit of country. It's on a steep hill. This is the start of this project. It's in a district called Sparkle. Oh, that's how you do it. The grader is up behind me now. Here we have some more preparation on the next section. We'll stay with this section. The grader will be coming back very shortly to finish this preparation. Then we will start ripping, ready for the claycrete application. This is the next stage of the job, the process, the ripping prior to applying the claycrete. Very simple, you've seen it before, there's nothing new in this. It'll probably take about four passes with the rippers to get down to the required depth here. It's not a problem. It's just that he's working with heavy clays and traction is difficult. We've had a lot of rain prior to doing this section, a lot of rain. Now the ripping process has continued. It's in difficult country, as you can see. All heavy clay, as I said before, ideal for claycrete 2 or claycrete 1. We are using claycrete 2 as this is in Indonesia. Now when the grader has finished the ripping, we will start the mixing pretty well straight away. Here we have a very, very important part of the process, the application of the claycrete. It's often very difficult for the single drive type trucks to get through after ripping, but every day we're confronted with different problems, and this is just a minor one. The speed of the truck has been calibrated with practice runs on the bitumen so that we know how far it can go, so we know how much claycrete to put in as per size of the tank. Very, very important. Now he'll go down all the way through to the other end and come back and do another run. The mixing will then take place. After that we add just ordinary water to bring the mix up to OMC. Okay, now that the mixing process is well underway, unfortunately in this type of terrain, this type of country, we have to put up with mixing uphill and things like that, where ideally in other places we wouldn't do this. But it's going very well, there's no problem. We have a good operator who understands. Better watch where I tread here. So this is the mixing process, just doing it manually with a grader instead of using stabilizer machine or a rotary hoe. Note the angle of the blade for maximum turnover. Maximum turnover of material. Very important. Some people lean the blade forward, it's totally wrong. You must have the blade just tilted slightly forward at centre. This would be a good mix. See?
Oh yeah.
Mixing process continuing. We have to make sure we mix the full depth, get the clay-grit into the whole depth of the layer. We have one of our Indonesian representatives. Clay-grit man here. That's the way to do it. He will now bring that windrow, small windrow, and also digging and bring up the stuff underneath on the next run back. Now the adding of the clay-crete is actually complete now. We're just mixing the clay-crete with that certain amount of water we have to put with it. The full dosage has now been applied. All that we have to do now is to bring the materials up to OMC, optimum moisture content. We do this by just adding plain water with no additive. And when we have the material up to optimum, mixed, properly mixed, then we can lay it in to profile and compact. Actually getting away from the mixing just for a while. We're actually waiting on more water now for the other section. Just take a very quick look at a section we did a couple of days ago. 10 hours after we finished it, we had a deluge of rain which went for about 8 hours. A real tropical downpour. Knocked off work for a full day. We came back, cut this section over, and this is the result. Good finish. That finish will wear down to a sort of a more dull finish once the newness of the clay actually goes away. But the actual finish itself is hard, waterproof. We're just doing some minor hand repairs there, just a couple of little grooves where a couple of stones dragged along. They will go in, the roller will push those in, and we will at the end of this project lightly cut this all over again with a nice heavy wet. But I'm quite happy with that finish. What do you think? There you go. That's our representative in Indonesia with his back to us. He's happy. We will return to the mixing very shortly. Just another look at that finish. It's deceptive. It looks slippery, but it isn't. Quite superb. I think in some areas if you saw a finish like this you'd be terrified of it because of it's not the sort of thing we usually go for. But as I say, the top surface of this will wear slightly and there will be a slight roughness to it in about a week, and that is when it gets to the top of its curing time and gains maximum strength. There is some stone in there, not a lot. One of our vehicles.